I spent 40 years counting down the retirement. I had the calendar on my desk, the cruise brochures on the fridge, the whole picture in my head. Then the day came, the party, the handshake, the last drive home, and within weeks I was droning in silence. I felt useless, invisible, like someone had switched off the lights and I didn't know where the door was. If that sounds familiar, or if you are afraid that's exactly where you are headed, stay with me, because in this video I'm going to share the one shift that turned my emptiest chapter into the most meaningful one. At the end, I will give you the exact tool that made it happen. For 4 decades, my job was everything. It was my routine, my identity, my social life, all rolled into one. I was the vice president. The title wasn't just a business card, it was who I was. Then overnight, that entire structure just vanished. I tried to enjoy it. I slept in, I fixed things around the house. I had lunch with old friends who, by the way, were still at their desks. Pretty quickly, the projects ran out. The lunches got quieter. And I did find myself wandering from room to room. Picked up things, put them down, not knowing what I was supposed to be doing next. What I didn't realize yet is that retirement doesn't only come with a financial gap. It comes with a purpose gap, and nobody warns you about that one. But here's what surprised the most. The moment I spotted that gap, I realized I was starting at an opening, and I almost missed it completely. Here is something psychologists call the retirement identity crisis, and it's far more common than you think. When your job disappears, so does a huge part of how you see yourself. The meetings, the deadlines, the feeling that someone needed your input. It's all gone. And in that quiet, some very loud of course, unkind thoughts can take over. You have peaked. Your best days are behind you. You are just done. I could see that version of myself coming. The grumpy, bored retiree sitting in a chair while life happened around him. And I made a decision months before I retired. This is not going to be me. I had 40 years of skills, experience, and knowledge sitting inside me. The question wasn't whether they still had value. It was where to plant them next. And then completely by accident, a friend's panicked phone call changed everything. One evening, a friend called me in panic. Yes, it was complete panic. He was trying to build a website for his pottery shop and was completely in over his head. Jan, you have always been good with computers. Can you just look at this? My good with computer was 40 years of corporate spreadsheets and clunky internal software, not web design. But he sounded desperate, and I had nothing else going on for that in that moment. So I said, yes. That night, something clicked back on. For the first time outside of work, I had a problem to solve. Not for a boss, not for a deadline, just for a friend. I fell down a rabbit hole, I would say. I watched YouTube tutorials until midnight. I read about branding, SEO, digital marketing. The world felt bigger than it had in months. A few weeks later, we launched his site. A few days after that, he made his first sale. The pride I felt, bigger than any corporate promotion I ever got. I had been useful again. And what happened next, I generally didn't see coming. Other people started calling. Word spread through my circle. A friend of a friend needed help with his business website. Then another. I hadn't advertised anything. I hadn't set up a business, but a quite new role was finding me, the retired tech guy who explained things in plain English. That's when it hit me. You don't need to be an expert to start something. You just need to be a step ahead of the people you want to help. I started a blog just to write down what I was learning in simple, no-jargon language. My first post was called 10 Things I Wished I Knew Before Building My First Website. I was terrified to hit publish. I did it anyway. One person left a comment. This was so helpful, thank you. That one comment was gasoline on a tiny spark. I wrote another post, then another, then I started a YouTube channel. Today, more than 700 articles, and I have more than 400 videos uploaded. A community of people just like me, learning to build something new in the second half of their lives. But none of it would have been happening without one specific system I found, and I will show you exactly what it is just in a moment. Here's what I know now, that I wish someone had told me before I retired. A happy retirement isn't about escaping your life, it's about building a new one. It still needs routine, it still needs people, it still needs that feeling that what you do today matters to someone, somewhere. For me, it turned into an online business. That wasn't the plan. It just grew from a genuine desire to keep learning and to help people. The money followed the meaning, not the other way around. But your path doesn't have to look like mine. Maybe it's a YouTube channel about cooking, a local mentoring program, a blog about travel, a small consulting service built on your 30 years of expertise. The specifics don't matter. What matters is that you plan something, anything, and tend to it every day. That void you are feeling, think of it as an empty plot of land. The soil is fertile. It's just waiting for you. So how do you actually start? That's exactly what I'm going to show you right now. Months before I retired, I found a platform and a free video series that changed the trajectory of everything. It wasn't technical, it wasn't confusing. It was like someone had read my mind and explained the whole online world as if I were starting school for the first time in the best possible way. That system gave me the foundation to build my website, my blog, my YouTube channel, and eventually a real business that gives me purpose every single day. I've linked it below in the description. It's completely free to start. No experience needed. If you're watching this, you are already online. You already have everything you need to begin. Click the link, take a look, and give yourself permission, at least, to start your next chapter. Because, trust me, the best one might still be ahead of you. Before you go, I would love to hear from you. What unexpected joy have you found in retirement? What new thing are you curious about? Drop it in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. Thank you for watching. And if you would like to know more about how I made my transition into retirement, watch the video coming up here on the screen somewhere. And I will see you in the next video.